Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hello and welcome to the channel today. So today, as you've seen by the title, we will be doing a recap, an overview, of stage 1 of the EUL. So with all that said and done, let's get right into the video. Peace out. Wild. So, as of recent times, the only thing that we've really seen from this team, bar this stage, is stage 2 of 2023, where they went 4-4, placing 5th place by the end of the season. And let's just say it's a tad bit different, I believe. Pardon me. I believe back then there were also 9 teams. There could be less, there could be more, I'm not sure. But to my knowledge, there were 9 teams back then. There are also 9 teams now. And even though it's a tad bit of a different roster since then, they kind of came dead last, which is never good. Let's be honest. It's never good to come dead last. I believe they hosted a record of 1-7, which is not good, only winning 1 game in the whole of the stage. Now, in these, when I say 1-7, I'm not adding the wins in overtime and the wins or the losses in overtime. I'm just doing it all together. So the wins in overtime will just be put in the wins column. The losses in overtime will just be put in the loss column. But they went 7-1 this season, which is never good. So that's all I've kind of got to say about this team. They're not doing the best at the moment, and I really hope that they can turn it around in stage 2. So let's get right into 8th place. So what can we say about Virtus Pro this stage, apart from disappointing? Now, their recent success as a team hasn't really been there since 2023, where they placed 1st in one of the stages of EUL. I believe it was the first stage. Then they got a 9th place in Atlanta out of 24 teams, and they got 3rd in the 2024 Invitationals, which is very good, meaning coming into this stage, as the 6 Invitationals this year has just been, you would think this team is going to do well, but they have not. Also, they lost to the winners, so you can't really be miffed at them for losing in the 6 Invitationals. But since then, they have gone right down, being the penultimate team. Now, since playing together since 2022, you would really think that this team would have evolved. Now, they did also have some success back in the day as well, considering they were also Team Empire, who rivaled G2 back in the day when G2 were the world destroyers that they were. But since then, they have dropped quite a bit, and I think they should have done a lot better. Now, I don't think with 8th place they have any chance of coming into the Manchester Major, which, don't quote me on that, I could be wrong. They might have actually, the only way they can get in is through the open qualifiers, which is a very long road to go through. But I hope that they do make it, and I hope that they do start to change it around and really get their head screwed on. But with all that, let's get on to number 7 or 7th place this season in the EUL as Virtus Pro. I want to get them gone. They went 6-2. Come on, they've just placed 3rd. They placed above G2, which, although G2 aren't the best anymore, they're still a very good team. They came 3rd place, only losing out in the 2nd place to FaZe, as we know, and they lost that semi-finals or quarter-finals. No, semi-finals to Virtus Pro, the eventual winners of SI 2024. And to be fair, they look very good, but they put up one hell of a fight in that, and they're really not showing that fight this season, or this stage of EUL. So hopefully stage 2, they come back with their head screws on. Maybe they need a bit of time off in the Manchester Major time, just to really think about what they've done. But we'll get on to 7th in the league now. So this season was not so easy for Ents. Pun intended. But saying that, they finished 7th place with a win over 8th place Virtus Pro, which they won 7-3, which I think is very good, considering, as we spoke about with Virtus Pro, the accomplishments that they have made in the past, not so much this stage, but in the past, is very good for a team that is new. They all have started playing with each other as of the 4th of March this year, so 2024, as of recording. And to be honest, they did not do anything special, but I don't think that was really expected of them. They weren't meant to do anything special, as I feel like they're just taking stage 1 to kind of see how they gel together as a team in tier 1 play. And in all fairness, I think they've done especially well even though, yes, they got 7th, I still think as a brand new roster, to not come last or the penultimate, and also to beat the team that did come in the penultimate position, but that team really, really did bad. But minus all that, they beat a team that is accomplished in the scene, which I think is very, very, very good of them. Now, they did go 3-5, which, okay, yes, is not the best, but as I've just said then, I think they did exceptionally well for what they've kind of been given in this first stage, and that's all I've got to really say about Ents. I feel like with years to come, maybe even months to come, that they will do very well. I hope they do make it to the Manchester Major so they can kind of show what they're worth and what they're bringing to the table. But that's all I've got to say about Ents. So let's move on to 6th. I know you said 5th then, but to 6th. Right, okay, now it's time to get into 6th place. 4-4 this season. That's right, 4 wins, 4 losses. Disregard all the regulations. At the end of the day, they got 4 wins and 4 losses. No matter if it was in regulation or not, that's what they did. And it was the biggest flop this season. G2. What can I say? They should have been rivaling 1st and 2nd place. They should have at least got top 4. But no, they got 6th. Now, what can we say? They've been playing together for so long now. All, I believe, since like 2023, maybe? No, before that. But anyway, they won SI 2023, talking about 2023. They haven't won anything since. The only notable thing was placing 3rd/4th at the Atlanta Major and 4th place invite this year. But this stage, they have very much disappointed. After winning SI, then being in the top 4, which personally for them I think is a bit of a flop. And then, like, even, which one was it? At the Atlanta Major, 3rd and 4th. I think they ended up getting 3rd, but you know, they were like in like, when you look at the breakdown, it's like 3rd, 4th, money-wise. I think they should have been 2nd, 1st. Like, they should have either won or got 2nd place. That's where this team is at. They literally made this team on the factor of that this is like the best players in the world, and they're all going to come together in one big super team. But no, they've kind of disappointed this stage at least. I mean, yes, okay, 3rd and 4th is very, very good. But I just feel like for a team that should be world beaters, and the organisation that was world beaters back in 2019 to about 2021, I want to say. Maybe even 2022, not sure. But yeah, it's kind of a flop for them, to be honest. And to be honest, having the best players in the world, they should have done a lot better. I've been a G2 fan since like the start of the organisation in Rainbow Six Siege, and it's why it pains me to say that they're just not the world beaters that they used to be. But I have to say it because it's true, and I really hope that they qualify to the Manchester Majors. I'm pretty sure they lost to Into the Breach actually in the playoffs, because that's kind of like when I'm recording this, like this first stage is finished, the playoffs are now on. I'm recording this on Tuesday. It's going to come out. No, I'm recording this on Monday. It's going to come out on Wednesday. So I'm currently recording this in the time that the second day of the playoffs is on. And I really hope that they beat Fnatic. Please, G2, if you're watching this, beat Fnatic, guys. Come on. Anyways, let's move on to 5th place, guys. See you over there. So coming in at 5th place, as you probably know if you've been watching, is Fnatic. Also boasting a record of 4-4. But obviously with all like the regulation wins and stuff that I can't really be bothered breaking down. That's where they placed. They placed above G2, so I assume they got a few more wins in or outside of regulation. And to be honest, there's nothing really to say. They are a very consistent team. Apart from that, they cut games very, very close. Like, there are games in this stage where they should have just won. They should have closed out the match, Bob's your uncle, and just taken the 3 points home. But they ended up taking 2 and sometimes even 1 point home, solely just off the fact of that they're not very good at closing out games. They can get there, they can get to the match point, but for some reason sometimes they just can't close it out. They just can't get that one last round. It's as if like the pressure just gets to them and they're like, oh my gosh guys, we're only 1 round away from winning, come on, let's do this. And then all this pressure piles on and they're like, oh sugar muffins, this is not going to work out. And then all of a sudden the pressure gets to them and they go, whoa, and it blows up in their face, and they either get the win, but very finely, and they lose out on a point, or they lose out on 2 points. I'm holding my hands a bit too low. Or they lose out on 2 points, and it's just an absolute flop from them, and they should not have done that. So personally, I think that they probably could have got third, but for that reason, it's kind of one of those. Now, they are the ex-Koi roster, so they've been playing together for a little bit now. I think there are a few new players here and there. Their last good placement was 5th, 6th, SI 2023, which, to be fair, for these is good, because they're kind of like a mediocre team. They've never really done anything outstanding, even as Rogue or Koi. Now they're Fnatic, and to be honest, they're kind of just a consistently mediocre team, kind of like the next team that we're going to talk about, which we'll get onto right now. What a smooth transition, eh? So 4th place, let's see who that goes to. Let's have a little look. So in 4th place, boasting a record of 5-3, we have Wolves. Now, since the start of this org's run in Rainbow Six Siege esports, they have been a very mediocre team. Winning, or not winning, EUL. No, yeah, they did. They won EUL stage 2 and 3 back in 2020. And then since then, they've consistently placed 9th to 5th place in most things that they've done. Basically in all competitions, like in SI 2023 and 2024, in the Jonkoping Major and the Atlanta Major. And then they placed 4th place. No, they placed 4th place in the Atlanta Major. Sorry, got my words mixed up a little bit there. But I think the main problem this stage for this team has been the fact that if Mowgli is not playing to his best, neither's the team. Now, we've got P4 and other players like that in the pardon me, in the roster that are very exceptional, but Mowgli, for some reason, if he's not showing up, no one else decides to show up. They're like, Mowgli, we're going to try? He's like, nah, you know, not feeling it today, guys. And they're all like, all right then, boys, we may as well just pack it in, call it a day. Now, obviously, they have won some games where Mowgli hasn't done the best, but overall, if Mowgli's not turned up, no one's turned up. And that is a real issue, because you can't really just rely on one star player. You need to have the thing of, if he's not there, they need the consistency still of all the other players banding together, because Mowgli hasn't done awful in most games that he's played, but it's just the fact that when he's not like all the way up here, then they just don't win consistently. Like some days he'll be here, some days he'll be here. He's never awful, he's never like all the way down the bottom, but if he's not all the way up at the top, Wolves normally can't close out matches, which that is a serious issue that I really hope they fix. Now, I hope we see a little bit of difference at the upcoming Manchester Major, which I'm going to try and be there, do a little vlog, but I don't think I will be, because I think I'm a little bit late on the ticket arrivals, which is not very good. But with all that said, let's move on to 3rd place, someone who is getting a medal. Now let's see who is getting the first medal. So in 3rd place, the most impressive team this season, Into the Breach. Going 5-3, the same as Wolves, but obviously you've got the out of regulation wins and losses, which I assume they won more in out of regulation, and probably in regulation as well. No, they probably won more in regulation, even, sorry. Pardon me. But anyway, this team is a roster of rookies. They are all, well, all but one is British, which I absolutely love, because I'm a Brit myself, and I love this. So they placed 3rd place. 4 out of the 5 players have been playing in low tier Siege. I say low tier, like tier 2 and tier 3. I don't even actually, no, I think it's just tier 2, and also been playing out in and out of Challenger League since 2022, and now they are finishing 3rd place in like their first season together. That is absolutely incredible. Like, it's brilliant news to see that the rookies are on top, and not only that, I say the rookies are on top, that the Brits are on top. That's right, well, we're not on top, okay. But still, we got 3rd place. We got a bronze medal. If this was like a competition in the Olympics, we get a bronze medal, and I will happily take that any day of the week. I can't wait to see what this roster brings in stage 2 and in the Manchester Major. I just can't wait. I hope they do get to the Manchester Major, actually, because I think they're in the playoffs. But I just love that from them. Come on, let's bring it home, Brits. So moving into 2nd place. I forgot what place we're on for a second then, but no, 2nd place. Now, after a disappointing placement at SI 2023, placing 17th and placing 7th in stage 2 of the same year, it was not looking good. People did not know what to expect from Team Secret, and couple that with 2 brand new players in, where are we? In Doom and Adrian, and it was not looking good. They were a bit of an unknown at the start of the stage, but oh boy, have they impressed. Placing second, only dropping games to G2 when they were looking very, very, very good at the start of the season. They were looking like the world beaters that they used to be. They lost a game to Fnatic, who have been very good. Like, this was one of the games that was close, but they were able to but Fnatic were able to lock it out, and it was one of those where it was just like, it was a very good performance from Fnatic, and they lost one game to first place of BDS. Now, we will be getting onto them after this, obviously, because what comes after second? First place. But I have to say that they are looking very, very strong, and I think they will surprise everyone at the Manchester Major. I believe that they will get a third place. That's right, third place at the Atlanta Major? What am I on? At the Manchester Major. Sorry, I was talking about the Atlanta Major, wasn't I, before? Anyway, Manchester Major, they will impress. They will get a third place. That's my prediction for them. I know this isn't a predictions video for Manchester Major, and I might make one of those. Leave in the comments if you would like me to make one of those, but that's right. They will get third place. Trust me. Okay? Trust me. You're listening. You, Timothy, in the camera. Trust me, bro. Anyway, that's all I've got to say about Team Secret. They have done very, very, very well considering the circumstances this season, and I can't wait to see them in the Manchester Major and also in Stage 2. Let's move on to BDS in first place. So lastly, I believe that we have to talk about the absolute dominant performance of BDS this stage. Now, I don't know what has gotten into them, but since Rinchero and Alems have left, and Eunice and Solotov have come in, I don't know what's happened to them, but they are looking scarily good. In their first 4 games this stage, they had a 7-3 win over Wild, which, okay, they were a bit of a flop. They did get last place. But then they had a 7-2 win over G2 at the start of the season when G2 were looking good. They then had a 7-1 win over Into the Breach, which is third place. They are very, very good. And that, what a dominant performance that was. 7-1. They literally lost, they dropped 1 round. And then to the mediocre team, and I mean, we've already spoken about this team, but they then got a 7-3 win over Wolves. Now, if that does not sound dominant, I don't know what does. And like I said before, with the introduction of Solotov and Eunice, they are just looking absolutely scary. They did have a little blip halfway through. Well, I say a little blip to be fair, but they only lost 1 game this stage, which was to Ents. But I feel like Ents did do pretty well considering the circumstances, as we spoke about earlier on in the video. So, to be fair, I don't really think there's much to be said about that. But then, the last 3 games, 8-7, 7-5 and 7-5 over Team Secret, Virtus Pro and Fnatic respectively. I feel like this is the team from the EUL to do something brilliant at the Manchester Major. Now, I did say that Team Secret are going to get third, but for some reason, I feel like BDS, I say for some reason, for the dominant reason of look how good they've been in Stage 1, I think that they will win the Manchester Major, and I reckon EU are going to be on top. I don't know why, I've just got a feeling. I don't know if this could just be regionally, they're very good, but I just feel like they will be absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to see them at the Manchester Major. I can't wait to see them in Stage 2, and I can't wait to see them for just the rest of this roster's existence, because they are looking so good, going 7-1. That is unbelievable, and I mean, there's nothing else to say. They are looking dominant. They are looking like world beaters like G2 were back in 2019, 2018, 2020, all, you know, when G2 were on top. That's kind of the feeling that I'm getting from these, because they're literally 7-2, 7-3, 7-1s all over the board, and it's just looking scary. So that's all I've got to say about BDS. Let's get into the outro, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. So there we go, everyone. That was a quick recap and an overview of kind of where I think people are going to place, what I can't wait to see in the teams, and kind of the disappointments that we had this stage in EUL. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, let me know if you want to see one of these for Stage 2. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to see Stage 2, Manchester Major, and one for like SI in the future and stuff. And let me know if you want to see some prediction videos. Now, I did get all these, or like this video idea kind of like a breakdown video of what happened this stage from what's his name, from Caliber Jacob, that's who. Now, I used to watch his content back in like the early days of him being around, and I really enjoyed it. Now, after making some educational videos on Siege and like some tips and tricks, they will be staying, so don't worry about that. But I just wanted to try out one of these videos as I really did like them, and this was a blast to make, to be honest. It's really fun. Pardon me. It's really fun going through and just looking at what, like, the history of all the different teams. Now, I will only be doing this for EUL, as it's kind of the only one that I watch because I can't be bothered watching like North America and stuff. But I will do like a breakdown when it comes around to SI if you guys want me to, and I'll do a breakdown of kind of, and like an overview, a look back on how the Manchester Major went once that's finished. But with all that said, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I do apologise for coughing as well during the duration of this video, as I do have a cold still. But yeah, peace out guys. I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see ya.